Happy Friday. Good morning and welcome to Jesus Minute. What's today's national day? It's one of my favorites. Today's national day is National Exercise Day. Yeah, I'm an early guy at the gym. Matter of fact, I've already been to the gym, usually before the videos. I'm at the gym about 4:30 in the morning. I know, crazy, right? And work out, do my thing, and then I'll go back in the evening and do more cardio. But it is National Exercise Day. So go out to the gym or take a walk, jump on a treadmill, do something fun, chase a chicken, I don't know, just get some exercise. All right, so today we are coming down to the last few stories that we have. I think we've got 3 stories that I'm gonna do on people that were demon possessed or demon oppressed. And then the final story will be where Jesus does a great miracle of reviving somebody from the dead, right? I want to end on a really positive note. Let's get going though. So today I'm going to cover the guide about the story about the demon possessed guys. And so from a city, I don't know how to pronounce it, Garansensis or is, I don't know. I'll just call it City G. Okay, you can Google it. Maybe you can send me a video and tell me this is how you pronounce it, dummy. And I can check it out, but I'll just call it City G for now. And this is in Luke 8, verse 26 through 39. Now, I'm not going to cover it all. It's too much story. I mean, reading the verses, sometimes I would do that amount of verses, but in this case, there's just too many things that are happening within those verses that are unique stories within themselves, and I don't want to rush it. So I'm going to do half today, and God willing, half on Monday. All right, so let's get going. We're going to go with Luke 8, and I'm going to start with verse 26 through 27. Today I'm using the ESV translation, and you're probably thinking, why do you jump around so much? Well, I've read the Bible a lot, right? I read it a lot. I'm always reading. And then not sometimes, but I do word studies and I read different, books, and I get more in-depth idea of what's happening. And when you understand the real context, you'll see that some translations just speak it a little clearer. Sometimes they're paraphrase type translations. You got to be careful with those. But sometimes they do a really good job of explaining the story. So anyway, but this one is more of a word for word. It's the ESV. It's really, really good. So let's get started. Then they sailed. Who's they? Well, it's the disciples and Jesus, okay? And then they sailed to the country of the city G, which is opposite of Galilee. When Jesus had stepped out on land, there met him a man from the city who had demons. For a long time he had worn no clothes, and he had not lived in a house, but among the tombs. Yikes. I think of this story and he gets off a boat and here comes some lunatic. And you think he's just a crazy guy, but he's possessed. Not by a demon, but by many demons. And you read the fact that he hadn't lived in a home. That means he hadn't been around his family. He hadn't been around his friends. He hadn't been able to be in his community. They threw him out of the community. I mean, he got demon possessed. And I just wonder a lot about the backstory. How did that happen? What was he doing for that to happen? Was he practicing witchcraft? What did he do for that to occur? I'm going to have to do more of an in-depth study. But maybe, on Monday, God willing, I'll have some more info. But I was just curious, how did this poor thing happen to this poor guy? Now this city, I called it City G, right? It's a city in Transjordania, and it's situated about 35 miles southeast of the south end of the Sea of Galilee. So it's one of the cities of the Decapolis, and so that's this place where this guy is at. And I'm just thinking, man, what a way to be greeted. And just poor guy, man, that he's been, he's running around naked, crazy. And I'm thinking, when he ran to meet Jesus, it wasn't the man that knew who Jesus was. It was the demons. The demons knew that Jesus had just stepped on the shore. And yeah, so there is, so here, every time I read a story like this is what I think. Wow, the demons definitely know more about Jesus than I do. And they are more aware of his presence and of who he is. They don't see him as an enemy anymore. He's already defeated them. But how do they know to be afraid of him? How do they know that he has come around them? And how do we stay so blind to the presence of God? And how are we so ignorant to who Jesus is? How do I stay so ignorant, right? And when I use the word ignorant, it just means unaware, that I don't have information, and I need to become less ignorant to get more information on who Jesus is. Man, I should know my Lord more than they do. But I'm always amazed at this. All right, so let's go ahead and go on through Luke 8:28 and 29. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell before him and said with a loud voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" Man, read that again. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him and said with a loud voice. So man, this he's prostrate before the Lord. He falls before him. Now he's possessed. So it's not the man himself, but it's the demons in the man that are falling at the feet of Jesus. And then they yell, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For many a time it had seized him. He was kept under guard and bound with chains and shackles. But he would break the bonds and be driven by the demon into the desert. Man, these demons knew to worship. They knew that Jesus had power over them. That's amazing. Think about that. These demons are so aware of who Jesus is. He's not just the man. He's God. He's the guy that defeated them. He knows. These demons know who Jesus is. And they're horrified at the sight of Jesus. These demons know that Jesus is the Son of God. Imagine that. They know his position. If only we believed in the power of Jesus as these demons do. They know the absolute power of Jesus. And I think about the demons, how they destroyed this man's life. What made it worse, in my opinion, right? They could have just killed him and ended it, but they kept him alive in this misery. And every now and again, he would catch himself, and he, they were able. I mean, the people were able to put chains on him, and then the demons would possess him, and he'd bust those chains. I don't know, man. What a horrible way to live. And I don't know, this whole story kind of, I don't want to say creeps me out, but it makes me think, man, Lord, I need to know you more. I need to be more humble before you. I need to fear you more. Every time, today's preachers, no one wants to talk about fearing God. And when they read a word that says fear, they just go, oh, that just means respect. It doesn't. When James is talking about demons fearing the Lord, that word fear means terror. So, no, we don't have a healthy fear of God at all. Most of us don't. I know I don't. And I need to really have more of a healthy fear of the Lord. I mean, if the demons are afraid of him, why am I not in fear of Jesus, right? Why am I not aware of his absolute power? I read in the word where it says, man, don't fear the guy that can kill you. Fear the one that can kill you and destroy your soul. Right? That's how we need to live. We need to be self-aware of who God really, really is, and his power and his might and his authority. If the demons can know it, then we definitely should know it as Christians, as believers. I don't know, this whole story it kind of gets me in a weird way, right? And then let's go ahead and read Luke 8:30-31, and this is where I'm going to end. And Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" He's talking to the demons. And he said, "Legion, for many demons have entered him." And they begged him not to command them to depart into the abyss. Look, this right here, that verse, and they begged him not to command them to depart into the abyss. You know what? These demons really, really are self-aware, and they know their final destination. They know it. They know where they know the end of the Bible. They know where they're going. And it makes me wonder how many of us truly know our final destination, you know? And I want to make sure, you know, that I'm right with the Lord. I believe what Jesus did for me at the cross. I believe that my final destination is to be with the Lord and to go to heaven with him. But man, we all need to really self-examine. When you read this story, it's not just, okay, look, he delivered him. I mean, really pay attention to these demons and what they're saying. They know their final destination. They know that Jesus is the Son of God. They know who he is. They know when he's in their presence. I mean, they just know all this. And I want to be more aware of who Jesus is in my life. And I'm just, so this story kind of really bugs me a little bit. It doesn't frighten me in the sense that I'm afraid of the demons. I'm afraid that I don't honor, respect, and fear the Lord enough, and that I don't really know who he is, the totality of Jesus. I feel like I know about that much, and I need to be knowing, you know, like way that much. And so that makes me really hungry to know more and more about the Lord. So guys, let's go ahead and just pray. I just want to close out in prayer. Father, I'm just so grateful that you love us and that you help us to learn more about you. Father, I thank you that the Bible was written, Father, for us to become more knowledgeable of you. And Lord, I just pray, Father, that we learn to fear you the way we should fear you, that we learn to honor you the way we should honor you, that we learn to respect you the way we should respect you. Father, I know so many times I just feel like I'm supposed to speak to you and then you're going to obey me and give me what I ask for. Oh my goodness, Father, forgive me for that. Father, I just pray that my prayer is filled with petition to know you better, to fully understand who you are in my life. Father, I just pray for those that don't know you. Father, those that don't know their final destination. I pray, Father, that you would send us to those people who don't know where they're going to end up, so that we can teach them, Father, the good news, that we can speak what the bad news is. The bad news is that without you, we're all going to hell. But the good news is, with you, we'll all be in paradise in heaven with you. Father, I just pray that we have an appointment this week, an appointment today, an appointment this weekend, and that we get to speak your word, that we get to speak life into these folks that you're going to put in our path. I just thank you for this in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Amen, guys. Well, listen, man, it's a great story. It's a crazy story, but I hope it encourages you to really pursue the Lord more, to really honor the Lord more, to really fear the Lord more, and to really understand where is your final destination. And I hope you like what you're hearing on the channel. If you do, click on the follow button. I hope you like this message. I know it's a little odd, but if you do like it, then give it a like. And if you think somebody might be blessed by it, click the share button and send them the link. Now look, today, National Day, Exercise Day. Come on, get out there and do something. Do a little walking, fast walking, a jog, something. Don't do the, chicken breast lift where you're just eating chicken, or the hot dog, or the hamburger curl, and you're eating that. That doesn't count as exercise. I mean, lift weights or run or do something. Just be grateful for the health God has given you. Enjoy your weekend. It's Friday. We made it, right? Enjoy your weekend. Guys, pray for me. I am always praying for you. Pray for my mental health. Pray for my physical health. Pray that the Lord would fill my heart with a hunger to pursue him more and more every day. All right, guys. We will see you on Monday, God willing. Salute.